Episode 18. Chronicles of Curious Conduct. Colin and the Incident at the Flower Show. It began as so many things do with Colin, with good intentions and a light drizzle. The annual village flower show was in full swing. Marigolds trembled in neat rows, dahlias preened for attention, and several local disputes had been quietly paused in the name of community horticulture. Great Aunt Edna, unavailable due to a confidential begonia summit, had asked Colin to keep an eye on things. This, in hindsight, was a tactical error. Colin, armed with the clipboard and a strong sense of duty, had no real grasp of flower show etiquette, and he arrived precisely on time. He had been instructed to check the displays, which he interpreted to mean improve them. The first offence was minor. He noticed that the label of Mrs. Featherstone's prize petunias had slipped sideways. Wanting to help, he neatly realigned it, directly in front of Mrs. Blenkinsop's heirloom fuchsias. Mrs. Featherstone's petunias, meanwhile, were now listed as unusual specimens, judge discretion. The second offence was less minor. Colin spotted what he believed to be parched soil in the miniature arrangements category, and he fetched a watering can. It did not occur to him that some of the entries were made from silk, paper, or, in one ambitious case, fused sea glass. 3 entries collapsed in stages. One began to fizz. Mrs. Trenworthy burst into tears. The third and most memorable offence occurred entirely by accident. Judge Butterwell, a retired botanist with the temperament of a damp sponge, approached Colin and asked, "Which of these would you say has the best display of form?" Colin looked down the table, several perfect roses, a row of elegant lilies, and then, at the end, a monstrous cactus. It had been entered by Mr. Hibble, who thought it was a succulent showcase, but arriving on the wrong day, and he refused to leave. The cactus, round, spiky, and aggressively green, glowered from its pot like a sentient hedgehog. Colin panicked under the pressure of being asked an opinion, and he blurted, "Well, that one has presents." Butterwell nodded gravely. The cactus was awarded best in show. Within minutes, polite chaos ensued. Mrs. Featherstone declared it a disgrace. Mr. Hibble demanded a victory lap. Mrs. Blenkinsop shouted, "It's not even flowering," and had to be restrained by a gentleman from the Dahlia Tent. Colin attempted to clarify matters by stepping onto a bench and saying, "I only meant it had presence, not actual quality, which, in hindsight, only inflamed things." Tea was flung. A geranium display was trampled. Someone tried to strike Mr. Hibble with a clipboard, but missed and broke a trestle table. Robin, arriving late with a Victorian sponge and no context, asked what had happened. Colin, dazed and slightly dusted with compost, replied, "I may have accidentally awarded a cactus." Robin looked at the overturned fuchsia stand, the shouting pensioners, and the small crowd gathering around the now victorious cactus, which someone had inexplicably placed on a tiny podium. He patted Colin on the shoulder and said, "Well, that'll teach him not to ask for your opinion." Colin now receives an annual invitation to judge the unusual specimens category. He declines. The cactus, for its part, remains undefeated. The scriptwriter, who maintains the whole thing was predictable, states, of course, he gave the prize to a cactus. It's called self-recognition. Now, if you've ever awarded a prize under duress, misjudged a succulent, or accidentally caused a riot in a marquee, you are quite frankly in excellent company. More tales of mild disaster, botanical misunderstandings, and inappropriate clipboards await in our full archive of absurdities. There you'll find our series of unreliable memoirs alongside a free downloadable PDF, all lovingly typeset and deeply unhelpful for passing horticultural exams. Your support keeps the kettle warm, the fuchsias upright, and Colin mostly out of judging situations. Do stop by. We've saved you a scone, possibly weaponized.